Hello my friends, welcome to another Toronto on Toys. Now today, this package came in and I couldn't help but notice a strange sound it would make when I kind of shook it up a little bit and turned it over to see like, oh, what could this be? A sound that sounds like this. Now, what is going on in there? Because it sounds like there's loose pieces in there. So we are going to find out. But first, I would like to address those who may be new here. Welcome to my channel where I also share videos of my artwork and my podcast called Rated G. Now, if you've been here before, welcome back and thank you so much for returning. It truly means a lot to me. And if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit that like button because it really helps out the algorithm. And as a matter of fact, if you want to support the channel, please hit that subscribe button and make sure you ring that notification bell so you can keep up with the new uploads. You can follow me on social media, and if you want to help support my art business, maybe you're curious to see what kind of stuff I have for sale, you can check out the link down below. Now, let's unbox this package. Okay, my friends, so what we have here, which I was expecting this, but I did not think it was going to come this soon. But what you are seeing right before your eyes is Star Toys 1/6 scale action figure of Jackie Chan from Police Story. And I was, when I first discovered this, I was like, man, I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to get one of these. Yeah, so the part, what sounded is actually what I thought, like by description, it sounded like loose parts. And I think it's all of the accessories and interchangeable parts that he comes with. I took a quick peek at the top and it looks like I saw like a hand was kind of floating around. So I think that's what it is. This shipped from China, I believe. So, I think that's why the packaging was in the condition that it was. Like they clearly packed this so that it would be well protected during transit. But I think just, naturally things are going to get shook up during the transit. So I just hope the figure itself is okay. I want to kind of go through this steadily and slowly, so I apologize in advance that this is going to be a lengthy video. But man, yeah, this is judging by the photos that I saw, and I got this off of eBay, so I just started shopping from there, and so far I've had some decent experiences, but yeah, so you can already hear things kind of shuffling around. So yeah, this is from what I just what I'm seeing from pictures of this figure, this is kind of like the Chinese version of Hot Toys, because I was just stunned by how close the resemblance is on the figure, and we're gonna see real soon. But yeah, it's just like it's the accuracy and just how well the figure does resemble Jackie Chan, and so yeah, I think I would say this is kind of the Chinese version of Hot Toys. And I'm curious to see what like the material is like, if it's plastic or if they use the kind of, I don't even know what the silicone or whatever they use for Hot Toys. I don't own one because I'm not, I'm not, rolling in dough like that. Oh, so his hand already fell out. So there's the hand right there. It looks like it's the hand. It might be one of the hands that holds the gun. All right, it's already like, it feels like that kind of rubbery plastic. Maybe silicone. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not well versed in all the materials that these sort of higher upscale figures are. But yeah, things really got shook during transit. Even like broken plastic, I see. Okay, we're just gonna hope for the best here. Okay, guys, he is fully unpacked, and thankfully he is all in one piece, and there wasn't any damaging on the item itself, although as you can see here, there was some damage to the plastic. Now I don't want to assume, but I would think this is probably just due to just temperature changes throughout its travel overseas. So I mean, I'm no scientist, but I think that's what happens to plastic, right? When it's if it's in some very cold temperatures. But I could be wrong. Feel free to comment if I'm wrong about that. But the main question is, how did the figure come out? And the figure is fine. I will say, they packaged the boxed item very well. Like, that thing felt impenetrable. But I would say I wish they had, packaged the figure and the accessories better. Like typically you got the tape and the plastic or rubber wiring to keep them in the plastic, right? I wish they did that. They didn't, but whatever. Thankfully he came in one piece, and as you can see, he's got a stand here, which it's kind of odd. I mean, it works, but it's odd. You just sit them right here. I guess like if you want them in like a jumping kick pose, like maybe you would just kind of like sit on that. Let's give it a try. Like if I just were to lightly imitate. Yeah, I mean, okay. I don't know, maybe, or just if he was crouching down, I don't know, squatting down, this would kind of help, because I don't know how else he would sit on it. I mean, does this thing, let me see, maybe it extends and he doesn't just sit on it. Okay, all right. Not too far, but just far enough. And I guess it would work like this. His hands would go on top of these loops here, or hooks rather. Yeah, you just get an underhook under his arms. So okay. I'm such an idiot. I thought he just sits on them, but no, this is how it works. This is how it looks from behind. So I thought he literally just would sat on it. Okay, I'm an idiot. That's all. But yeah, so that's cool. I'm glad he comes with a stand, because I will say, although he came in one piece, his ankles felt very loose. So there's that little concern there. With his accessories, we have his head here, which, let's just admire the sculpt here. Very, very accurate, if you ask me. I think this is very accurate for an action figure. Even his main head here, very nicely done. It looks just like Jackie, and I'm not even being modest. I think he really does look very good there. So, very cool. All right, so we established that there. Look at that. His head's tumbling around. That's why his face is all beat up. We got 3 extra pair of hands. Now, these kind of look like they would either hold the gun. I guess you want to have him hold his gun on either hand, or the handcuffs, which we're going to take a closer look at in just a minute. And they feel rubbery. These feel rubbery. And then this pair. Now, this is interesting. All right. This is interesting for two reasons. One, the tone difference in the hands, right? Those flesh tones. One is darker than the other. And not only that, the darker one happens to be of like a regular hard plastic as opposed to this sort of rubbery, softer. I don't even think it's plastic. I think it's rubber. Right. All right. So that's weird. And then his other pair of hands. Now these feel like the same material. This one does appear to have a slightly different paint job, or just, the color application. I don't know. It just looks a little off to me. So you guys feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments there. But yeah, this is a fist, and then this is just another, I guess you can hold his gun or the handcuffs with that hand. And speaking of cuffs, look at that. This is actually made out of metal. Like I can feel it's cold. And yeah, it feels like metal. I wish I had a magnet or something to really screwdriver. It's hoping to be like a tink tink tink. But what's cool is that they open. Look at that. He's actually open. So that's really cool. So that's neat. And then his little revolver. Right, look at that. Nicely done. And not only that, the revolver actually comes out. Like, that is so cool. And it spins. Well, I can't get it to spin like the real thing, but yeah, the revolver does revolve and it comes out. So I think that's really neat. Oh man. So some cool detailing there with the accessories. And then now let's actually admire the sculpt. It actually feels nice. This feels nice in my hands. Like, it's kind of hard to judge with his clothes on, as weird as that sounds. But I will say I was impressed that this figure has actual like cloth fabric material for the clothes. Like, this feels reminiscent of like the old school G.I. Joe action figures. It very much has that feel to it. So I wouldn't doubt that they probably just use the same materials as those toys. So I'd say the sculpt looks pretty good, like proportionately speaking. Now, as far as articulation goes, I would imagine his articulation is of like many articulated action figures. We'll start from the bottom. As I mentioned earlier, his ankles did feel loose, so that's a bit of a concern. They do have a nice, like, bend. It feels like it's on like a type of ball joint, so you can point his feet up or you can extend it down. That's as far as you can extend his foot. It's kind of weird because like it almost feels like if like the shoe is on the foot, but it's just the whole foot is kind of loose there. So you got ankle tilts, so that's good. Yeah, this foot feels looser than this. I'm probably gonna go over a little bit of the QC, just because this is coming from overseas, and I paid quite a bit for this, so we're gonna be doing QC as well. The flex here at the knee is very nice. I believe that's the double jointed knee there. I don't feel a swivel at the knee. It feels like it's on a ball joint here at the leg, at the hip there. So you can get a nice, pretty decent, and I'm sure the pants are kind of constricting a bit of that range of motion, but got a nice front kick. I'm noticing the glute sculpt here does come in the way for his back kick, so can't really get a back kick. And then side kick, I mean, if his pant leg is hiked up, you can get a pretty decent side kick there. You know, actually, yeah, I'd say that's Bruce Lee approved right there. So nice mobility in the legs, which I'm sure allows some great poses. Now I'm feeling some, yeah, we got a nice ball joint at the chest here in the midsection, and actually at the waist too. So that's actually kind of nice. Excuse me. Not feeling a twist at the waistline though. So, oh, close his pants. Come on, Kaku. So I think that's kind of nice. He's got the, you know, midsection there, mobile. Although, is this? Oh, he's got two shirts on too. So he's got a tank underneath. So there's the top half of his upper body. I don't know if you can tell, but the tone, there's two tones here. And it looks like this material is the same as this hand that's darker than the rest of them. So this is like a hard plastic, and this kind of feels like that rubber material, like the rest of the hands. So I guess that's what that is. So I guess it's just kind of inevitable to have the color tones off, but you know, just from what I'm seeing here, like some good color application on the chest there to, you know, define the muscles. So we got a little bit of like shading under his pecs to give it that definition. Let's see what his back looks like. Okay, so yeah, there's some light shading there on his back. So that's, you know, that's some nice details there. As far as the arms go, feels like there's a ratchet joint in the shoulder. This arm feels a bit loose, but there's also a ball joint in the shoulder, so it's like you can actually kind of pull the shoulder back and front if you want. So that's nice. Is there, okay, no upper bicep swivel, but there is a swivel here at the bottom where there's the arm bend, so that's good. And then at the wrists, you got a nice rotation in the wrist there. It's got the ratchet joint in that wrist as well, and feels like the arms are made out of the hard plastic too. And I'm gonna assume that, yeah, the legs are also hard plastic. Now when I was looking at the hands, right, so they got the little peg holes there. All right, so the pin is inside the wrist, and that kind of makes me a little nervous. I don't know, something about pulling the hand. Ooh, this one's tight. Ooh, I actually pulled the whole thing out. I don't think that's supposed to happen. So, yeah, interesting. Okay, so that's what I was worried about. All right, so you got that sort of it's not a ball joint at the tip there, but you got that little bit at the end to keep the hands secure. But then what what the issue is what we just witnessed is that actually I wanted to switch the hands anyway. But see, that's my concern about that is if it's in too securely, it'll pull the whole thing, the whole wrist out. So hopefully that's not like a, all right. I mean, at least it goes in nicely, but now, you know, that's going to be a concern. And I guess like whatever I decide, you know, which hands to put on, yeah, I'm stumbling over my words now. Whichever hands I decide to switch with, I'm just gonna have to leave it at that, right? And so this hand will probably be for holding the cuffs, and then I'll use this hand for the gun. So yeah, that's my issue with those type of pins for the wrists. You know, whenever you want to swap hands, I wish it was kind of like the Bruce Lee action figure from Figma, where it was like a smooth pin and you just kind of just slip it right into the wrist. But you know, it is what it is. Oh, and then let's just check. Okay, so it's a tighten that ball joint, and I know there's like a type of oil that like the pros use to loosen those ball joints. I don't know if I'll get to that point or not. How does the other arm feel? All right, same thing. So it's tight on that joint. How does the so this side has a tighter ratchet. Yeah. So I'm not a big fan of ratchet joints, especially ones that click like that. They just, I mean, I get it. I guess they're meant to keep the arms or just the limbs secure when they're positioned, but I feel like when they wear off, they're just not gonna be able to stay up. And then his head, lastly, believe is ball jointed, which allows all this mobility. So I'd say the head's got some great mobility there. Right, tilt on either side, tilt down. Not so much tilting up because of his hair there, but I do want to swap the head, so okay. Oh, looks like I don't think that's supposed to happen. So it's like a dumbbell ball joint. I got to get that piece out and put it back in there. All right, so now that that's fixed, I actually had to step out and grab a tool to pull the double ball jointed piece out. And I thought I'd give it a test and see if that would happen again, and it did. So the head that's on there, that's staying. Same goes with the hands. Those are staying, because changing those parts, they do make me nervous. I'm afraid I'm gonna end up tearing up those ends there. So we're just gonna leave the parts that are on him. So to wrap up this review, I just want to quickly recap the pros and cons, which led to my 7-point rating. You know, like I said earlier, the sculpt, spot on. You know, he really does resemble Jackie Chan, which I think is incredible. You know, I love that they use fabrics for his clothing. You know, they even got his pants to feel like corduroy. So that really adds a nice effect to the action figure. His range of motion is pretty great. You know, the articulation is, you know, right where you need them. But the cons, I will say, is really the QC issue. You know, because there are some loose parts on his limbs, like his ankle's very loose. Some of the ball joints are really tight. His left arm is also, it seems like his left side's got some issues, but like his left arm's looser than the other one. And then now this is more of a personal preference, but I just wish the the end tip of the ratchet joint for the wrist. I just wish it didn't have that end where, you know, it's like a ball tip or whatever, because, you know, not all of the holes in these hands and these extra parts, they don't all match. Like some of the holes are smaller than others, so that really heightens the risk of that tip breaking off eventually. And, you know, not to mention the ball joint in the neck. You know, with mine, when I want to swap heads, the whole ball joint pops out of the torso, so I got to use pliers to pull that end out and then put it back in its base. So, you know, that's just with my copy. So that's why, you know, I gave it a 7, considering how much I paid for this as well. So it's like, you know, I would have thought the, you know, the quality would have been just a little bit better considering the price that I paid for this. But, you know, again, at the end of the day, I'm still very happy to have them in my possession now and, you know, added to my collection, because I'm a huge Jackie Chan fan. So, you know, I would say I wouldn't recommend this for a low budget casual toy collector. However, I would recommend this for a Jackie Chan fan who also loves action figures and can afford 3 digits. All right, let's just leave it at that. So that's my review, folks. If you enjoyed my video, please don't forget to hit that like button, because it really helps out the algorithm. As a matter of fact, if you want to support my channel and see more videos, by all means, hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so you know when a new video is about to drop. Also, you can catch me on social media. And if you're interested in supporting my art business, you can shop at the link below where I sell both prints and original artwork. All right, so that is all. I hope to see you on the next review. So in the meantime, stay safe, never grow up, keep enjoying your toys, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.